So this video was originally going to be about leaks and spoilers in our popular culture, but it kind of just became a script of me being a broken record saying, "Wow, aren't spoilers crazy?" For those of you who live under a rock, a really big video game got leaked recently, and the people who saw the leaks are harassing the creator because of the way the story pans out. Whoa, shocker. The internet got angry at people for making something they ended up hating. But it seems the anger about controversial creative decisions in media has been a lot more prominent as of late. I think, and bear with me here, we can trace this all the way back to December 2017 when The Last Jedi came out. And everybody just left. I wonder when Mahler's gonna show up to tear my shit apart with his lackeys. He'll just make a 10-hour fucking stream about how I'm wrong, and they'll make fun of how I sound like an asshole. I know I'm fueling their fire at this point, but fuck it. Seriously though, people who hate this movie think that the ideas they have in their head are somehow automatically better than what the professional filmmaker with a great track record of films wrote for his script. It's fine to not like the story that is presented before you. That's completely a-okay. But to say something like, "This isn't what I wanted," or "you should have done this," it's kind of fucking useless at the end of the day. Like, what did you expect these people to do? Do you want them to just make something that's completely empty and void of any sort of interesting ideas? Like, did you just want these people to make a 2.5-hour movie of just shitty fan service? Oh man, I love the part when Luke killed all the walkers. Remember when he kicked Kylo Ren's ass with his lightsaber? I'm so happy Rey ended up being Palpatine's granddaughter. Remember the part when Batman got raped in prison?
Oh, like, Batman killed a guy. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, wake the fuck up. Once you've like lost your virginity to this fucking movie, and then you come and say to me something about like, "Oh, my superhero wouldn't do that." I'm like, are you serious?
Point being, it's okay to not like something. There are so many things we all don't like, but to think that you have a say in the creative process of these multi-million-dollar franchises is insane. I will bet you that 90% of storytellers write these stories to satisfy themselves at the end of the day. They have ideas in their head that they want to share with people, and that will either end very well for them or incredibly poorly for them. It really just depends on how the people receive the message. Like, it's one thing to not like a certain work and give fair criticisms, but it's completely different to call out the creator of said work and call him a fucking piece of shit because he just has a new flavor of Star Wars he wants people to try out, and you just didn't happen to like that new flavor. It's like you're all just walking into these movies expecting everything to happen exactly the way you want them to, because that sounds pretty close-minded if you ask me. I would try to loop this back around to that certain big video game franchise, but I can't because I have no idea what happens in the game. I just know a lot of people have been incredibly angry with how the story turns out. I think the reason I wanted to make this video stems from the amount of anger I felt when I read a tweet replying to the developer, "This isn't what we wanted, just delay the game like another couple of months and rewrite the story." I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what he said. And I literally wanted to hang myself after reading that tweet. Do you know how fucking long it takes to do that shit? The employees at the development studio are probably worn to shit because of the massive amount of work they put into making a sequel to one of the most critically and financially successful games of all time. People are just so fucking clueless nowadays. These creators are not here to suck you off. They are not here to give you empty stories with nothing to say. They are here to give you stories that test you. And really, if the story angered you, doesn't that mean it still affected you and that it still had an impact in some sort of way? I genuinely think that the best stories are the ones that make you think the most. The ones that stick with you are the ones that made you feel a certain emotion, whether it's happiness or sadness or anger, etc. Just think about this for a second. If Rian Johnson had made The Last Jedi exactly the way you wanted it to turn out, would you have taken anything away from it? Would you have learned that it's okay to fail because you can learn from that failure? Or maybe that you can still become something greater despite not coming from a family of powerful people? I doubt very seriously you would have gotten any of those themes from The Last Jedi if it was made your way. So what am I trying to say with all this? What's my end goal? Just because somebody makes something that you don't like doesn't mean you should go out of your way to slander them. It's ridiculous that people who try to challenge their audience get so much shit for it. They're not trying to ruin these characters or these stories that you've fallen in love with. They want to add to what's already there, but they want to present it in a way that doesn't feel the same. Creativity is at its best when the creators aren't tied down to what was presented previously. If these artists can't try anything new, then what's the point of making a sequel to beloved property? You may not like what they created, but that doesn't give you the right to shame them for what they made.